In 2024, Indonesia released its newest horror film, Death Approaches. Within just a few days of release, it became the local box office champion for horror movies. Its level of scariness is almost as extreme as banned films. So quickly tag your friends and watch it together. The story starts with high intensity. A woman, to feed her 3 children, goes to a wizard and sells her soul to the devil. After the ritual ends, her struggling small noodle shop suddenly revives in just a few days. Customers come and go constantly. With the money she earns, she successfully raises her 3 children. But what she never expected was that everything she gained at the cost of her soul would 10 years later lead her to face many strange and mysterious events. The first event happens at her noodle shop. The shop used to do okay business, but recently the sales have been worse each day. To her eyes, everything seems normal, but outsiders see the shop as dirty and messy. When a customer finally comes, they take the food home. But suddenly it is full of worms. The woman is so disgusted that she nearly vomits. She wonders, this food was just made. How can it suddenly become so disgusting? She quickly checks the food and finds that the freshly cooked food is emitting an unbearable foul smell. The repeated strange events remind her of the ritual from 10 years ago, so she immediately goes to find the wizard from back then to ask why this is happening. But when she arrives at the wizard's house late at night, she sees a group of funeral workers at the door. After asking around, she learns that the wizard had mysteriously died that very afternoon. No one knew exactly how he died. All they knew was that before he died, he scratched his face like a madman and screamed hysterically. When the woman goes inside the room to pay respects, she notices something terrifying. The cotton in the wizard's nose has fallen out for no reason. She thinks it is a natural reaction after death, so she carefully puts it back in. But in the next moment, the wizard suddenly opens his mouth and his eyes stare directly at her. The woman is completely terrified. She calls out to the funeral workers, but there is no response. Bravely, she closes the wizard's eyes herself. Then suddenly, the wizard rises from the dead and spits a mouthful of black blood at her. At the same time, her youngest son experiences something equally strange. At first, he is eating snacks and watching Ultraman, but suddenly, there is a rapid knock at the door. When he goes to open it, the door opens by itself. Squinting, he sees a terrifying woman's face. When he puts on his glasses, he realizes it is his mother back home. But strangely, no matter how he talks to her, she ignores him and walks straight into the room without expression. The son is confused and follows her into the room. As he looks around nervously, he is so scared that he quickly closes the door and immediately knocks on his sister's door. He tells her everything that just happened. While the siblings are talking, there is another knock at the door. The son hides behind his sister, but his sister calmly walks over and opens the door. Their mother slowly comes into view, and the most terrifying moment is about to begin. When he kissed his mother, the little boy finally felt a bit relieved, but when he thought carefully, something felt very wrong. If his mother had just come home, then who was the woman he saw earlier? That very night, while the mother was sleeping deeply, her body suddenly started twitching uncontrollably, and her eyes rolled back. The woman suddenly woke up and noticed that the radio beside her was playing whispers of a demon. She got up in shock and turned it off, but at the same time, the room lights went out. In her terror, the wardrobe suddenly opened, and a twisted, horrifying hand slowly crawled out. Seeing this terrifying scene, the woman was so scared that she could not even breathe. Then suddenly, her body again started changing uncontrollably. An evil force lifted her up into the air and tightly grabbed her neck. The woman struggled with all her strength, but the next moment, luckily, it was all just a terrifying nightmare. Yet, the woman felt everything had been incredibly real. She guessed that it might be the result of a ritual from 10 years ago, which caused her current situation. The next day, she went to a sorcerer and begged him to examine her. The sorcerer immediately asked for her birth details and began performing magic for her. As the spells were repeated, the woman fainted, but not long after, she suddenly woke up and her eyes instantly turned blood red. "Oh my lord, what is happening? You scared me!" The sorcerer fell to the ground in shock, spitting out old blood. Just when she thought she was about to die, the woman suddenly returned to normal. Seeing this and remembering what had just happened, the sorcerer immediately realized that it was a warning from the demon. If he interfered again, he would surely die. He also understood that the ritual performed on her 10 years ago had problems. Because the sorcerer who performed the ritual had mysteriously died not long ago, this meant no one could give offerings to the demon anymore. Without offerings, the demon would come out to cause trouble. That is why it had targeted the woman. The sorcerer said immediately immediately remove the things on your body. Do not delay. This is not easy. You must give the things on your body, either your stomach or your knowledge." So the woman went to the sorcerer's house to find his relatives, but as soon as she entered, she found the place abandoned for a long time. No one was there at all. While she stood helpless, a black shadow suddenly appeared on the mirror and slowly walked towards her. The woman sensed danger, looked back, and was terrified by what she saw, screaming loudly. After returning home, the woman seemed like a completely different person. Her body was covered with red sores, and she became extremely weak. Even eating a little food would make her vomit a large mouthful of black blood. At that moment, Xiaomei got scared and quickly called her older brother, but no one answered the phone. As time passed minute by minute, the woman's condition became more and more serious. Even the normally cheerful and lively younger brother suddenly turned pale and lay motionless on the bed. No matter how much Xiaomei called him, he did not respond at all. So Xiaomei had to call her elder brother for help again. Luckily this time, Aoi answered the phone and immediately rushed back home. But when they reached the room, they found that the mother and younger brother were already gone. Only strange, eerie sounds were echoing continuously in their ears. Following the sounds, they reached the bathroom and finally found the mother and younger brother. But at first glance, the sight shocked them to death. After returning to the room, the mother regained her consciousness. She told Xiaomei and her brother the entire story in detail. But she never mentioned one particular thing. She revealed that during that ritual years ago, there was a very strange rule. Once the ritual starts, someone must offer a sacrifice to the demon. If the demon loses its sacrifice, it will take away the woman's children. This is why in the past few days, the younger brother faced so many strange incidents. But now, the only wizard who could provide a sacrifice had already died. Even the wizard's family had disappeared. The only remaining solution was to find a powerful master to perform an exorcism ritual for the mother so that the demon could be driven away. Hearing this, the three of them found some devotees early the next morning and with their help went to the master's location. They first drove to a forest, then carried the mother deeper into the woods. As they approached the master's house, they decided to perform a prayer to show their sincerity. But not long after the prayer began, the mother's body began to behave strangely again. The younger brother looked back and saw the terrifying demon lingering around the mother. The others continued the prayer as usual, completely unaware of the danger approaching. After a while, Xiaomei finally realized something was wrong. The mother, who had been lying motionless on the ground, suddenly disappeared in an instant. Seeing this, they immediately split up to search. After some time, they found the mother not far away, but when she turned around, she had already transformed into the demon. Her pupils were black, her face was terrifying, and her teeth were rotten and stinking. Before anyone could react, she leapt silently onto one person and killed them instantly. Seeing this horrifying scene, another devotee trembled in fear, frozen in place, unable to make a sound. When the demon slowly approached her, she tried to run, but the demon grabbed her and struck her brutally. Screams of horror echoed through the forest. Awe and another devotee rushed over upon hearing the screams, but they only saw 2 bloodied corpses. As they grieved, the demon quietly reappeared behind the devotees. By the time Awe realized, another corpse had fallen to the ground, and the demon had already disappeared. It then approached Xiaomei and her brother, pretending to be a woman and kneeling not far away. Xiaomei noticed it and was naturally drawn closer, but the moment they approached, they had already fallen into the trap set by the demon. Both of them ran desperately, and the demon chased them crazily. At that moment, the younger brother accidentally fell to the ground. The demon immediately grabbed his leg and began pulling him back violently. Xiaomei rushed forward to stop it, but the demon slapped her, and at this critical moment, Aoi arrived just in time and stopped the demon. The younger brother managed to escape from the demon's grasp, but he was just a normal human. How could he fight a demon? Soon after, Aoi was grabbed tightly by the demon by the neck. Even though he struggled with all his strength, it was of no use. Luckily, at that dangerous moment, a stick suddenly appeared and knocked the demon unconscious. The one who saved them was the master they had been searching for. After careful observation, the master explained, and the three finally understood that their mother's body was completely possessed by the demon. If they had arrived even a moment later, they would have also been in danger. The only way now was to use a handful of soil from the practitioner's grave and a coconut with the water of God to completely remove the demon from their mother. For this, Aoi asked the other two to stay and watch over their mother while he went to find those 2 items. Before leaving, the master gave him a bottle of holy water so that he could protect himself in danger. Aoi arrived at the cemetery and successfully found the sorcerer's grave. But when he tried to pick up the soil, he couldn't lift it. Aoi was extremely surprised. Looking closer, he saw the ground was full of disgusting worms. He was terrified. On top of that, he suddenly felt a severe headache, as if something was pressing on him. But for his mother, he endured the pain and dug out the soil with all his strength. The next moment, a group of horrifying corpses appeared in front of him. They surrounded Awe as if they were about to attack him. Realizing the danger, Awe quickly poured the holy water on the sorcerer's grave. As soon as he did, all the corpses disappeared. Awe hurriedly left the cemetery and started searching for the coconut. But with so many trees, how could he find it? At that moment, their mother's spirit appeared and guided him to finally find the coconut. But unexpectedly, just as Awe found the coconut, the master suddenly encountered danger. The demon sensed the threat and started struggling. The master told the siblings to step back and recited spells at the demon. But no matter what he did, the demon was unaffected. The demon also threatened the master, warning him not to interfere. The demon instantly became furious, let out a terrifying laugh, and twisted its body as it advanced towards the master. The master swung his long staff, but the demon easily blocked it. Seeing the demon's power, the master revealed his full strength and drew his ancestral exorcism sword, ready to fight the demon again. Even so, the demon turned and almost killed his younger brother. During the fight, the demon even jumped on the master and tore the flesh from his arm. The master used all his strength to throw the demon off. Seeing the demon seemed motionless, the master cautiously approached to check. But the next moment, the demon suddenly opened its eyes, leapt into the air, and pinned the master down. The master raised his sword again, but the demon fearlessly grabbed a weapon and pierced his body. The shocking scene terrified the siblings. They rushed back to the room, but the door wouldn't open. With nowhere to go, the younger sister held her brother and prepared to die, and the brother could only call out for their mother. Unexpectedly, that cry of mother awakened the last trace of consciousness in their mother. But soon after, the demon possessed her body again. It grabbed the sword and struck fiercely at the siblings. At the critical moment, Awe arrived just in time and stopped the demon from attacking his family. During the struggle, the badly injured master finally used the opportunity to open the coconut. To defeat the demon, he recited spells while pouring the coconut water on his hands. After preparing, he threw the coconut water at the demon. The demon was hit and screamed in pain, its body writhing uncontrollably. The master pursued and poured more coconut water, finally forcing the demon to leave the woman's body. After this, the family finally returned to peace. The demon never harassed them again, but their mother, who had been severely injured by the demon, unfortunately passed away. Luckily, before dying, she handed over the small shop to Awe and Xiaomei, allowing the siblings to survive. However, it seemed the story was not completely over. Alright, that's the end of today's story. See you next time.